Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Blonde Café Podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Villanueva, and I'm your 29-year-old millennial gal just out here living my best life. And I'm here to help give you the tips, tricks, and tools to live your best life. And today I am joined by a very special guest. As you can see, this is my sister, Amy Deeter. And she's more than just a sister to me. She is a mentor. She's been there throughout my whole entire life. Of course, as a sister does. But she is also a very experienced expert in the fashion industry. So she's going to introduce her role and what she does specifically because she says it better than I ever could. But I have always looked up to her, not only as like the cooler older sister, but like the cooler older sister that has like a cool as hell job and always looks put together. It always looks awesome. Even if she's just in like leggings and a sweatshirt, like she is always just rocking it. And so she's going to help share some of those tips as we go into 2026 of how you can stay up in the fashion game, you can refresh your wardrobe, and you can get on trend, and you can see what everybody else is doing too. So welcome, Amy. So happy to have you.
Thank you. What an introduction. Oh my word. Well, my beautiful, blonde, younger, amazing sister, I am so privileged to be a part of what you're doing and get to share some ideas with you and your listeners today. As Brooke said, so I am in the fashion industry. I'm actually a district sales manager with The Buckle. I work with several stores in Michigan, Ohio. I am an advocate for women's product. I work with our women's buying team where we do think tanks, one-on-one sessions, and groups where we talk about women's clothing and fits and styles and upcoming looks and trends and what are ways that we can stay cutting edge. Those of you who shop Buckle probably know this, but we carry hundreds and literally hundreds of brands on our men's and women's side. We also start as young as size and age 4 all the way up. And so I'm helping women and men shop for all different types of looks every day. Being a fashion stylist and helping people choose their looks is probably from the very first day till now my favorite part of the job because it's all about that confidence, watching that person really find that fit or find that look that maybe they didn't think they could pull off or that they could wear and watching them leave with confidence. So through life and through 21 years at Buckle, I have seen trends come and go. I have seen different things that have recycled already. So keep those flare jeans, who knows? But I think it's so fun to also see how people, as you grow from, what you wore in high school to maybe what you're wearing now as a businesswoman or a mother or a grandmother, how you stay confident in yourself and how you also are able to feel like you're making the right decisions when you're choosing what to put on your body. So I just always think of my job as such a privilege because when people come in and they give clothing a chance, they're willing to take off maybe what they've put on and give another piece or a brand or a fit an experience and see how it works. That's such a privilege for me to make sure that they get what they are looking for, but also that they can feel immediate confidence and comfort. Those are my 2 goals with everyone as you go into a fitting room. It's got to be comfortable and it has to build your confidence. So, Brooke, I'm so excited to get into your topics. These are amazing. Brooke wrote this incredible outline that we're going to kind of go through pretty quickly. So if you're used to listening to fashion advice or fashion blogs or hearing different people's advice, we're going to try to do this, I think, a little different, but I'm very excited to get into it. So.
Yeah, and 100%. I think you touched on a lot of what people are kind of maybe struggling with in the world right now is how to feel confident, especially coming out of like the infamous word of COVID where everybody stayed home, everybody whatever. It's like, I'm sure a lot of people have had remote jobs or maybe their job has transitioned into remote style, or maybe they just realized that like they've never really updated their wardrobe before. Or like you said, like maybe we have the other listener that's like always up with the fashion trends. And so now they're wanting to know like what's coming down the pipeline, what's next for 2026. We're trying to stay on top of it. So each one of these questions kind of hits on those a little bit. But the main gist of it, like you said, is feeling confident. So no matter what that looks like to you, you want to make sure you're comfortable in it and you want to make sure you feel good. And 9 times out of 10, the comfort comes first. And then if you're going to be comfortable in it, you're going to probably feel confident in it. I don't know. Is that right, Amy?
It,
That's
to-
what,
it
that's the way it signals the market.
No, it totally is, and honestly, it starts with your bottom half. Like, it starts with what jeans you're wearing, what trousers, how they fit, how they make you feel, and, if you have a job where you're standing all day or sitting most of the day, I always have these are 3 things if you guys think about, like, what defines your fashion style, and these are kind of random, but the first one is actually where you live. So some of these, if you hear these ideas and you are living in LA or living in Virginia Beach or living in Dayton, Ohio, your fashion will be influenced by where you live. The second thing is going to be your profession, your work group. And maybe that is, you're stay-at-home mom, so you're going to a lot of sporting events or PTA or whatever that might involve. But that's your circle of people in your business world or in maybe more of a personal world is going to influence a lot of how you feel about what's cool, what's trending, what's working, what are my friends buying, and what are they saying. And that is the number one influence. Like, I think if you're, maybe over 40, the fashion influence we probably got when we were growing up making decisions in our early teens and 20s, it came from teen magazines, it might have come from MTV. And so now with phones, you can be inspired all the way around the world of what is beautiful and what is going to look great and what are fabrics that are going to be flowing or awesome or coming up. And so I just think that's really exciting. And then the last thing, where you live, very important, your circle, and then it's really your body type. Sometimes it's probably my fashion pet peeve. I'm going to give you probably several on this call, on this podcast. One of them is for sure. I think some of us were told very young, oh, yellow's not your color. Or, oh, you know what? You look much better in, and somebody made a comment to you, it could have been a grandparent or a teacher or your best friend in 3rd grade, and it stuck with you. And so you still think that you can't do that look, or you just feel a little hesitant. And so just be brave. I always say these 2 words, experience and experiment. So just don't give yourself limitations when it comes to fashion. Allow yourself to really treat when you go into a store or you're ordering online or however you like to shop these days. Give yourself permission to go out of your comfort zone, but also when you're buying those pieces, be ready to know, hey, this is meant to be styled. And that's what we're going to talk about a lot on here, because the right jean with the wrong shoe or the right top with the wrong accessories, man, you're going to start wondering, why did it look so good on that model? Or why did it look so good on that Instagram post that I bought from? And all of a sudden, you're seeing it in your mirror and your lighting with no makeup and no shoes. And all of a sudden, it feels a little confusing. So those would just be some tips, but put yourself kind of okay, in my circle of friends, in my profession, am I the best dressed? And there's stats and studies that say, especially women that dress for that right job and they put that effort in, they are recognized. Whether that you see that as right or wrong, I think it is definitely when someone puts effort into how they look, it's not really for themselves. It's for everyone who has to look. And I know that seems a little silly, but more people will see you than you will see yourself all day. And so the way you present yourself will say a lot about how you carry yourself in other forms of life, not just from your closet to the car to the office. So, all right, Brooke, you might have to cut me off on some of these answers. I'm so excited.
That's okay. Ironically, I had that same thing that Dad said when he did his interview with the podcast. So I wonder where we get it from. No, I'm just kidding.
I wonder where I get it from.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you're so true. Where your circle, your location, your just sphere of influence, your job, it all ties in together. And 100%, I have had that factor where I buy something online and it gets here and I'm like, why does this look weird? And it looked great on someone else. Or yeah, it kind of it's all a matter of putting it together, I feel like. So from your perspective and from what you've seen, and you get the first look behind the scenes anyway, working for Buckle and kind of getting on that level with the up and coming trends. What are some of the biggest trends we're going to see this year in 2026?
Ever heard of a banana scar? It looks like those scars that maybe you like. Maybe you've seen older people wear to the beach sometimes, or maybe like that one guy who had a bandana. Okay, that's not this. These banana scarves are incredible that you can tie them around your waist, your hair, your belt loops, your bags. But those are so hot right now, like so super cute. If you haven't seen the mega influence of hearts and love and pinks and reds, just so you know, girls are buying those for themselves. If you're waiting for your man to go out and get that for you, he's not, he doesn't know. Because that really wasn't a trend to like go full out on some of the major big holidays. But as we approach that, women love to all match, go shopping with their friends, and have something that's very on trend for an upcoming event. So Valentine's Day is going to be huge. Think polka dots, think sheer, think lace. Those are definitely, they're not just, meant for lingerie or bedroom time. They can be for every day, and styling them with oversized blazers, or even we've seen a lot of new resort lines kind of coming out. Buckle just launched a resort line and a Buckle Black refined line. If you haven't not been in recently, go get in the stores or check it out online. But it's so amazing to see those collections hit, because January can be that, oh, what are we wearing? What are we doing? We're all kind of recovering from a fun holiday in one way or another. So I think just seeing what's coming out for spring, two of the big things is going to be patterns are really back. For a while, everything was so solid and so, yeah, Sheer, you're looking great and you're awesome, Floral. It was funny. I watched the other day with my daughter, we watched The Devil Wears Prada. I feel like that's like rite of passage as you become a teenage girl. But I remember Miranda Priestley sitting in the boardroom and they're talking about upcoming trends, and somebody pitches florals and she's like, florals for spring, how original, right? And here's the key factor is it's not the florals that are overdone. It's the way in which you're doing the florals, floral denim, floral tops, full sets of floral, and then just the bold colors. Like color, it just can bring an outfit back to life. So kind of, and with your blue eyes, like people sometimes forget like those little touches of, oh, if I'm going to have, a certain look, do I love that color? And is that going to be a color that I feel comfortable wearing? Like you could wear that piece, it's so transitional, in July with a pair of white shorts or something. So anytime I'm looking to invest in a trend, because sometimes that's the part of a trend is it may go out of style, is I always look for what's going to be valuable long term for me. What can I layer or wear, tuck or tie, if you like that? Because as I can make something more versatile, ups the value of that item. So even if you're spending a little bit more than you normally would on a trend, that's okay. Just make sure it's a piece that you can switch in and out, or if it's a pair of trouser pants that you can wear several different ways with a sneaker or a heel, you'll just feel so much better about that purchase. And trust me, no one will notice. Some women get so nervous about, oh, I've worn this already, or I was on Instagram once and somebody posted my picture on Facebook and now I can never wear it again. That can be true in some cases, but for the most part, layer it a little different, tie it, tuck it, put something over or under it in a different pattern or color, and you've got a totally new look. So I think the only other thing I'll say, big trend, just obviously, as you've probably all seen, or if you guys are kind of out and about, is a lot more people are upgrading either their bags or their shoes and stacking jewelry. Like when you're thinking of beyond just the pants and the tops, like your belt, your jewelry, and your bag, just those three things that I just always think, those are last minute things. You're grabbing your husband's already been sitting on the couch 10 minutes and he's wondering why you're still in the bathroom. And so we sometimes don't put as much effort into those three things, but those are really what will tie that look together. Last little plug, if you guys don't have like your top two, and I say two because you could go crazy on this, but have an influencer or something that you follow on social media that you can relate to, that gives you ideas. I have a lot of things that come up on my feed that are how was it styled in 2016 and how should it be styled in 2026? And that really helps me because as a millennial, it kind of gives here's how a Gen Z would wear it, here's how a millennial would wear it. And I like that because ideally you can do both. Depending on, you can do whatever you're comfortable with, but I like how it gives that evolution of here's the same pieces, maybe styled a little different, or you've added one or two or subtracted one or two pieces to make it still very trendy. So yeah.
I love that. And I think too, like that kind of thinking of the word trendy, I feel like you just made it really, really approachable where a lot of people kind of like they might stray away from the trendier pieces, quote unquote, because they might be like, oh, well, if it's going to go out of style next year, what am I going to do with it? Or why would I want to spend the kind of money on it if it's not going to be worth my while? And I really love the way that you said you can mix and match and pair it with different things and wear it maybe versatile throughout the seasons. Or like you said, like follow some of those Instagram pages that show you maybe some stuff that you already have in your closet and how you can add something to it to update it, whether it is like that bag, that scarf, your jewelry. I think that that's really, really powerful because I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of they get roadblocked where it's like, okay, I have all my basics because the basics make sense. But then I feel boring when I only wear my basics. So then it's kind of like, what kind of statement pieces can I add to it? So are those the ones that you're saying like that you would add to an outfit as like the staple pieces that we're going to see, like whether it's like maximalist or minimalist? I know the minimalist trend was kind of like 2025, I feel like, where it was like all the girls, it was like, what was it? Like the clean girl aesthetic, where
Yeah.
you had like just a plain black top and some gold earrings. Let me tell you, I rocked that aesthetic because I worked from home. I wasn't going a lot of places. So I was like, you know what? I can wear a black shirt and gold earrings every single day. And then
Yeah.
now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm bored. I want to come back to like my fun, my style, my inspiration. So what would you say, like, what are those pieces where people can do that?
Yeah. Well, and don't think you're that girl hanging on to those baggy jeans, those white sneakers, that black top. It's okay. I just think what honestly we found is a lot of girls were showing up to an event and everyone looked the same. You're like, "Oh, how do I stand out?" And each person has, their individual personality, their enthusiasm for what they love and what they like and their interests. And so we're so much more than just, outfits, but our outfits are the way that we kind of can show people a little bit of who we are and how we feel in the skin we're in. So I think what I would always say is when you look at your closet, however you organize it, and I don't know, maybe Brooke and I'll give you some closet organization tips at some point, but for me, I do it by department because I know every day I'm going to work, I present and want to look a certain way so that people feel comfortable with me giving them fashion advice. And so that's very important in my line of work. And so if you only have, like if you have a ton of basics or a ton of t-shirts or a ton of, you know what, I mean, it's a top, but it never will have a piece under it or over it. Just experiment and do this. Don't be afraid to carry over. Sometimes we think, well, I've owned that for a really long time. And so give yourself permission on a Sunday night, if you work a Monday through Friday job, give yourself maybe 2 hours. If you want to pour yourself a glass of wine, go into your closet and just try things on. Try things on when there's no pressure. You're not going anywhere, and really just experiment with those outfits and layers. Of course, your black, your brown, your tans. Brown was such a huge staple color through the fall, and so I know I have almost kind of looked at my spring wardrobe of like, okay, how do I still incorporate some of these darker colors, especially if you love yourself in the blacks and the navies and the gray tones. That can be really almost intimidating to go into spring and be like, oh, everybody's going to be wearing all these bright colors, but that's not me. And so just finding like, is it a different fabric or is it just a different sleeve length? Or can I layer it with something that's a little lighter and more fun? But I think staple pieces, every woman should invest in at least 1 to 2 blazers. Nobody can tell me different. And so if everybody has that like one thing that you're like, this is my thing, like if it's skirts or shoes or whatever. But the jean jacket, I think, phased out for like 5 years. It was a dark time for me, but there's so many, there's so many different ways that you can wear those now. And so I'm glad that I hung on to a few of them. And of course, new ones are coming in. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. But I think the permission I want to give women is just embrace what you do have in your closet. Don't be afraid to say goodbye to some pieces if you know that you don't feel amazing in them. I heard a quote one time that says, you'll never love a piece more than when you try it on and decide to buy it in the store. That's the moment where you will love it the most. So make sure you really love it, but also make sure that when you're in that fitting room, you are styling it the right way so you understand how you can wear it when you get home so it doesn't ever feel like a disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so true. And I think too, like, what would you say? So say somebody is coming into your store and maybe they're like, I have $100, and this wasn't on the sheet. So this is kind of
No,
a
I
surprise
love
on
it.
the spot question. But if somebody comes in and they say, I have $100, what should I come in and spend to update my wardrobe? Is it something that's like, okay, get these 3 tops, or make sure you get these 2 tops, but then a belt so you can pull it all together? Because I think
Yeah.
that's like where it kind of gets lost in the sauce, where you're like, I want to buy everything, but now I kind of have to pick and choose, but I don't know where to
Yeah.
cut and what's gonna look good.
Well, if somebody did come in and say that to me, I'd first say, "Thank you for wanting to spend your hard-earned money with me. That means a lot." And then I would probably ask them a few questions about what they have in jeans, like what jean trends do they already own? Because I think a denim investment is so valuable, and Buckle makes the best jeans, hands down. We have every style, we have every fit, we have the smoothing shaping panel. I mean, there's not going to be variety out there. I mean, of course, our top and shoe and accessory selection is incredible, but that's probably where I would start and ask them, hey, if you're going to invest in something that can really change your next level, it's going to be a denim. And right now, I would say most women probably need to experiment. If you, I don't know if we have time for this, but there's actually there's probably 5 types of straight leg jeans right now. And it's so confusing for people. They want to get it, but I'm going to break it down really quick just so people understand. So there's a crop leg. If you're under 5'2", and you see crop straight, that is going to hit you right at your ankle or right on your heel. You're going to love it. It's amazing. I do a lot of cropped straight, cropped wide leg, but cropped straight is a great fit. The second one is going to be your classic straight. And what I mean by classic straight is it's the jean that you've seen forever. The knee measurement and the bottom opening measurement are the same. It will not change. So the measurement of your knee and the bottom opening will stay the same. Then you have your traditional straight. This is new. So the traditional straight, I know it seems funny because you're like, wait, traditional. But traditional straight is for that woman who is not ready to go wide leg. Like she's just not quite there yet. It kind of feels too baggy or oversized, or like it's not flattering enough. So traditional straight, it's the way to go. So if you were going into a buckle, that's where I would have every guest just start with that and see how you feel. And if you were shorter, go cropped straight. And you can kind of get that a little bit similar to that traditional straight. And then when you think about kind of from there, it'll go to more of a wide leg and then it'll go to more of a baggy. So that's kind of that transition. If you're looking for like, okay, there's 100 different names. I don't want to take have a science lesson on denim. Like I just want to go in and get good jeans. And so I think that's the point is if you understand at least what are the top couple, you can ask. Like 3 years ago, it was dad jeans or mom jeans everybody was asking for. And so those have kind of evolved now to your traditional straight. And then I would say the other big trend in denim right now is trouser. So if you're a flare girly, stick with that, but experiment with that trouser. It's so refined. It is so flattering. A lot of times you can get the low, mid, or high rise in a trouser, and it just depends on your torso and comfort level. But I would recommend trying on all 3 to really be able to tell, because if the higher the top, the higher the rise I do, the shorter the top can be, and I still feel comfortable. I'm not going to wear a shorter top with a low rise jean, just me personally. And so every woman will have to make that decision. But yeah, that's kind of a little information on that. But I would definitely start with denim. And then I would for sure help her with accessories because those can be timeless. The right stacked gold. We carry Sahara jewelry, which is basically meant to be that gal who's going to be in and out of the gym or shower. She just is not going to want to have to take off all of her accessories every time she washes her hands, and they don't tarnish. They're water resistant. So those are one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I think that's huge too, because I feel like jewelry can make or break, as you said earlier, and the importance of being kind of on trend per se with your jeans, I feel like that can also kind of like make or break your outfit as well. That's where if you do have, say, like an older style top and you pair it with like one of the newer, really trendy straight leg jeans, like you mentioned, or like one of those trousers, like you said, I feel like that's really where you can be like, okay, yeah, I still feel like I'm updated. I feel like I'm put together. I might be wearing that top from 2016, but I'm updating it 10 years later. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like
Well,
that's really important.
it totally is, and I'll just say one more thing on bottom openings and denim. A lot of
Mhm.
stores now have kind of figured out, especially at Buckle, that if we do what's called a raw hem, meaning it's unfinished, it doesn't have a seam at the bottom, um, you can cut it on your own, or every Buckle would have a professional seamstress that would be able to do that for you if you were a little nervous. But cutting it, cuffing it, or being able to tuck it. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can style that bottom opening. I know for me sometimes it's like I found myself pegging jeans where you kind of pull it in and roll it up tight around my, kind of like right above my ankle last year with a pair of socks and Birkenstocks, and that can be really cute. But also, as you see those raw hems, that wide, maybe it's a 4 to 6 inch cuff hanging out on the outside with like a cute booty. That is so fun. And that'll be really hot for spring. Just go a little lighter. Pet peeve. Here's a big one. And sometimes I think this is maybe more of a thing, but I'll say it. People have a certain of what jean color they like. They're like, I like medium, or I like dark, or I like light. And it can sometimes look like you're wearing the same jeans over and over and over, even if you have like 6 light jeans. So just be, if you are that person that you want to stick with your light or your dark or your medium, I get it. But give yourself permission then to change the trend of the denim, or experiment with going a little darker or lighter depending on the events you have coming up. So don't always buy the same color jeans. We know I'm a medium girl. I like my medium washes, so I have to push myself left and right sometimes, but that's okay.
That's so true. And I'm kind of the same way. I feel like I've kind of gotten a lot of my style from you, of course. So it's like, and yeah, in my head, I'm like, well, medium jeans go with everything. I can wear them during the day. I can wear them at night. I can wear them for breakfast, like at any point.
Yeah.
Um, so what about those people that are maybe worried about whether or not they're too old to wear something, or if something is like maybe a little bit outdated, or how they want to step out of their comfort zone. So I guess that's a two-part question of A, if somebody's feeling like I really want to wear, say coming up for spring, they want to wear shorts. How do they feel like if it's a shorter pair of shorts that they're like, I'm too old to wear this? Or if it's something that's more out of their comfort zone, how can they feel more secure stepping out of their comfort zone because they genuinely want to, but also still feel like they can walk out the door and not be completely embarrassed or completely like, really, really nervous if they're going to hang out with friends and that's not something they typically wear.
Yeah. No, I like that. Well, first of all, if they're really your friends, they're going to be impressed and excited for you. I say
Mhm.
this every time and it's cheesy, but so I apologize if this ruins the podcast. I right here, some
No.
exits, and I'm sorry, but I work with a lot of clothing. Most of my stores have between 14 and 18,000 units in store, and I've worked with that product for over 21 years. I've never opened a jean or a shirt or anything and seen an age next to the size. Never once.
Yep.
There's not an age limit on any product that I've ever seen it ever. And so I think people need to be told that. And I also think people need to understand that when you're deciding what to wear, when somebody says that to me, am I too old to wear this? It's a genuine fear. I get it. Like people really do. They're like, I don't want people to make fun of me or question it. But honestly, I think that has changed a lot in the last 10 years. I think what our, parents and, generation kind of thought was there really was a rule for certain ages. You wear certain lengths and certain things. And I think now I sell probably more wide leg denim to 60 and 70-year olds just as much as I do to 16 and 17-year olds. It really trends have just transpired age and really across the board, both genders, I think have seen that. Like I know a 50-year-old who owns cargo pants and a 14-year-old that owns cargo pants, and they both look great in them. And so I just think that's the fun part of fashion is when somebody says that to me, I always just say, is this something you think you could feel comfortable in? And and for me, comfort comes with I sometimes will size up, and we traveled this week. I was on the road. I was in Grand Rapids, big fashion town and city, and we have this adorable one of our leaders working in a store, and she has on this super cute baggy fit from Miss Me. And I just asked, I was like, did you go with your original size? And she's like, actually went up 2 sizes. And what I love about that is that takes a little courage to tell yourself you're going to buy a jean that's too big, 2 sizes bigger than what you're used to. It does take a little confidence, but it also takes an understanding of that's how fashion's working, and it really is. How do you want to look in the jean? And so, knowing the style she wanted to achieve in the denim, she knew she needed to go up 2 sizes. And so, I think that's the permission people need. Every time I buy a pair of shorts, I go up 1 to 2 sizes. And that's usually what then allows the comfort level to tie in with the length or the fabric, etc. But I think again, more people are more nervous about what they look like and and probably complimenting you in their head if they're not doing it out loud of, man, she looks really good, or I wish I could pull that off too. So I was watching a video the other day where I think it was Scarlett Johansson was being interviewed, and she was saying she didn't like her body. And I'm like, if Scarlett Johansson doesn't like her body, there might be no hope for the rest of us. So love yourself a little more today, ladies.
Yes. And Scarlett Johansson, if you're listening, like you too.
You're a 10 out of 10.
Yep. That's it. And I
Yes.
think too, like I feel like that's huge. And having that confidence and knowing that it's like it's gonna be okay at the end of the day. It's okay to size up a couple of sizes if you want, just to feel more confident and feel more comfortable. Because I know like sometimes I don't know if anybody else is this way, but I can kind of get in my head and think like, well, if I size up 2 sizes, then all of a sudden I'm gonna start eating a bunch of junk food and cake, and then I'm gonna like be 2 sizes up from there and whatever. And everyone is beautiful in their own size, but I think sometimes it's like you kind of get in your head and you don't necessarily want to say that and say like, okay, this is what I actually can do. I can feel comfortable in this way. I don't have to be self-critical. I can go outside and own it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really huge too.
I think
Now,
I think this is
yeah,
a
go ahead.
unique time too. So just go easy on yourselves, ladies. You know, some of our legs have not seen sunlight since September. Now, if you live in Virginia Beach next to Brook, you're getting a lot more sun than we are in Ohio. But I just sometimes that harsh lighting in the fitting rooms, and the first time you see your body in a short or a skirt, I just go easy on yourself. Know that clothes are not meant to look good standing in a fitting room barefoot, with a lot going around you. So, but I also do think, and I didn't mention this earlier, satin skirts and skirts going into spring. Be ready, people. It is gonna hit and be so much fun. So yeah, I would invest for sure in at least 2 or 3 like skirts, and then be ready the dresses that are gonna start coming in. One to buckle, but just I think you're gonna see in general how many awesome new pieces are gonna start making you want to shop more and more.
Okay. And so okay, so I'm hearing the skirts. I'm hearing you can never have too many denim jackets. I'm hearing, you got to have those staple blazers like you mentioned. Now let's talk about shoes. You briefly touched on shoes earlier, but we've got a couple more questions, so I want to get through them. But
Yeah.
shoe trends. What's coming up? What's in style? What's not? Can I bring my winter boots into spring? What's
Yeah.
going on there?
Yes, for sure. Those, especially short booties, westerns made a comeback for sure. The brighter the sneaker, the better, I think. I mean, it's sometimes that statement shoe that brings a whole look in together. Especially if you're doing like a pattern or a cheetah like skirt or pant. Leopard and cheetah, just man, well, that went crazy this fall. So, and I see that continuing even through spring with the patterns. But staple shoes, I know, so excited. Sneakers, Gola brand is awesome. If you haven't checked out Gola's, very comfortable. Reebok's made some great pieces lately for us. And then I think just as you're experimenting with sandals, like for sure wedges, for sure, buy that a little bit chunkier heel when it comes to sandals, but go for comfort again. I always like going into a day, I will almost have like extra pair of shoes in my car, extra pair of shoes in my office, just because, you never know. Give yourself a day to break in a new shoe. I bought a suede pair of brown boots for Thanksgiving, and I was wearing them into the restaurant. I had literally put them on, got in my car, and was walking into the restaurant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think, should I have gone up a half size? Like, are these going to be fine? And I wore them out again on New Year's Eve and walked everywhere in them. And so I think that first initial, like, oh, are these going to be comfortable? Like, remember, a shoe will expand, obviously, a lot of styles. Um, and then my biggest thing is sparkle will continue, I think. So, that sparkle boot, I don't know what Vegas or Nashville, or, girls trips, but anything sparkle when it comes to footwear has definitely made a big like hit. And then just anything loafer, ballerina slippers, those have been cute too. But anything you can slip on and go. That's for me as a mom. I'm a Hey Dude girl, so I love my Hey Dude, my Austin slides. It's an upgrade if you didn't use Hey Dude and you kind of were like, I'm done with those. Like, that's maybe not my look anymore. Come back, because the Austin slide is like the shoe of the year for me. I have like 8 colors, but they're great for spring, summer, fall, year round shoe. So yeah, just a huge fan of that brand for sure. So yeah, that's my take on footwear.
Yeah, I need to look up these Austin slides. I'm sure I've probably seen you wear them, but
They're so
I need
comfortable.
some now. I've got
Great.
the sparkle shoes down. I've even got the cheetah shoes down. Those are good news for me in my book because those are some pieces I've invested in.
Yeah, I
Oh,
will continue to be you. Like, I think we used to see us stop with reds after December, and you crush it in red. So that's such a good color to carry into spring too.
yes. Oh, that makes me happy too because I literally picked up my red sweater this morning and I was like, it was a little too warm for it, but I was like, should I continue wearing this in spring? I don't know.
You
Maybe. So, what are some of those key transition pieces that we can bring into spring? That's going to be like one of our last final questions. And then we're going to do a quick speed round of in, out, in or out, whether the fashion trend is popping or it's not. So,
know,
if you're still listening, hang on tight. We're going to do something really, really fun in a second. But I think we've covered all the gist of it. But I want to talk about how to transition those winter pieces, which you've already kind of
yeah.
alluded into, and then we're gonna get speed round going.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Three quick things. Your boots and your belts will go with your skirts and your summer dresses. So that keep them out. Don't take those down to the basement or in the attic. Keep those ready to go. The second one is your oversized blazers, jackets. You're going to wear those with skirts or shorts. Those cooler nights, or if you're headed to a resort or out on the town, it's just a nice option. And then the last one would be denim. I strongly recommend, if you bought a destructed denim or have anything with a little destruction, do a little damage. Like, you can kind of make it even show a little bit more skin to win for spring, but that can be also, as that destruction kind of wears away into the spring, that can be such a fun destructed look with your denim. So those would be my 3. Stick them, keep them at the front of your closet so you can grab them.
I love it. And I feel like that's so huge, especially like for people in my area too. And I know Ohio gets this way a little bit later in the spring, but it's like we have so many kind of like those awkward days where it's either like cooler in the morning and then warms up throughout the day and you're like sweating your butt off and you don't know what to do. Or you're like not quite ready to put away all those winter pieces, but then you're like, how do I still blend this in? And you're just kind of all over the place in the springtime, I feel like. So that's perfect way to kind of transition.
Yeah.
Well, for our super fun speed round, this is you got to say either in or out. And so some of these trends they're coming back, some of them are completely out, some of them might be, to each their own. Keep on keeping on, do what you want, plum crazy purple, whatever that looks like to you. But one word only, no explanations. Let's go. Ready?
I'm ready. This is going to be hard for me. I'm going to do it though. Here we go.
Okay.
Coming back. Popping.
Docking. Shining.
I know.
Low rise jeans. Paris Hilton, Britney Spears.
Coming back. In.
I'm not there. I'm not there for it. Not in my world. Wide leg denim.
In. Still.
Barrel jeans.
On their way.
Okay. I feel like those have been kind of hot and I don't really know. I don't know if I'm on board or not yet, but stay tuned. Cargo pants.
Out.
Oh,
On their way.
I
On their
want a pair.
Oh no.
Oh, there's so many pockets. I don't know what I'm carrying, but I feel like I could carry a lot.
This is listener here.
Right?
Maybe I get to see it on you.
Okay, fair. I was looking forward to the cargos. I don't particularly I have a pair of silk cargos, actually. I don't know. I might
Okay.
hang on to them.
See, this is hard. This is so hard for me. I want to say in on everything because with the stipulation, a lot of it can be.
There we go. Okay, what about denim on denim?
It'll be less in for spring, but still in.
Okay, feeling a little heavy for spring, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, this one might crush my heart depending on which way we go.
In 100%.
Okay. I'm like, I just got a new one.
Yeah.
Crop jackets.
Less in.
Okay, good to know.
They'll be with mid waist or longer. I know.
Okay, interesting. For
Yeah.
spring, especially.
Fabric, maybe
What about oversized blazers? Go in the opposite direction.
in. Still in.
Those are sticking around. I feel like I now need to get one. I have like one, but I feel like I need more.
Yeah. You'll get it and you'll feel like you're wearing dad's jacket. That's how you know it's right.
I mean, that's comfortable. So, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Graphic tees. I have a feeling on this one because you literally bought me or Kingston and Kimber bought me my very favorite one that I now own.
It is, yes. And that Talladega Nights, I hope it is getting a lot of use from you, but they're so in. Men's side and women's side, graphic tees, especially your favorite artists, man, you cannot own too many Morgan Wallen or Dolly Parton t-shirts, in my professional fashion opinion.
Yes. I love it. It's fun because it's like it shows your personality and like I don't know. It's such a fun, cool vibe. And you wear it with like some cute jeans and sneakers. I literally have worn my Talladega Nights one, I think like 4 times already.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Okay. What about logos?
Yes, but honestly, not as much as it was 4 or 5 years ago. So pick your logos. Be picky. Be picky on your picks for logos would be my advice. Nike's still in. We like our Nikes, but yeah, not as much.
Okay. Good to know. Cause yeah, those were hot for a while.
Yeah.
What about like elevated basics? So that's kind of like that clean girl aesthetic, like the Skims, like that type of vibe.
You cannot and at Buckle we actually call them essential pieces because they're essential to your wardrobe. Those you cannot own enough of. If you go in and you see like a high neck and a V-neck and a cropped and a crew, like there's really in the essential colors that you know you want, you cannot buy enough. Like they will stick around for so long. But those are very, very in, and honestly what a lot of people skip over or don't always buy the most quality pieces, but even the piece I have on is Buckle Black, and I will wear that with everything.
Yeah, and Buckle Black is such a comfortable brand. Like if you guys don't know, like yeah, it is right up there. Like the stretchy, it's like I don't even know what it's made out of, but magic. But
yeah, it's magic for sure. But yeah, it's private. It's just our Buckle brand, so you have to come in and experience it for sure. So, you got any more for me? Any more tough ones?
Yep. Okay, now we're gonna do super speed round times 2. Okay, statement belts.
In.
Western boots.
Very in.
Ballet flats.
Subtly in.
Chunky sneakers.
Personally, I would go, yeah, they're pausing for a minute. Those are on the pause, but you're gonna see a lot of chunky sandals.
Okay. I have some platform sneakers that I love.
Get them out. Get them out.
Let's see. I got these 2.
Because now I'm gonna. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? That's a good hype. I think I was picturing like Hot Topic maybe type of chunky. Like,
yeah,
white sneakers are always gonna be in.
If you guys are not watching on YouTube, you have to because you get to see my live shoe collection.
Wait, let's show her closet next. We're gonna tell her what to toss and what to keep. No,
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
that might be
would like
yeah.
what about pointed toe heels? You might break my heart on this too.
Nope, they're in. They're so in. The higher,
Good.
the better. Have fun with them. Point it to the sky. In.
Good. I just wore those today. Okay, platform shoes. We just touched on this a little bit.
Yeah, I think if it's something that is a staple piece, it can be in. But just in general, I don't think you're going to see as many pieces out in the market. That would be my take.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Micro bags, like the really small purses.
Honestly, I think bog bags made such a comeback this year. People like their stuff. I like my stuff. So I'm gonna say most likely the mini bags, unless you're doing kind of a crossbody bag to a game or something that's clear, you're probably not gonna see as many of those.
Good to know.
Yeah, no, wallets, clip-on wallets, you will need one of those. Yeah.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah,
What about the little
Wrangler makes
charm
some good.
with it?
What'd you say?
There's like some sort of like charm trend going on. Like you put little trinkets and charms with your wallets and such. Like, is that
Yeah.
a thing? Are we doing that?
I personally will not be doing that completely. But again, it could be your age group, friend circle that says go for it. And if they say go, my advice means a lot less than the buddies. That's okay.
What about layered gold jewelry? I think you kind of mentioned that one earlier too.
I can't say it enough. Go crazy. In fact, it's what will take your essential pieces to that next level. So just have good quality jewelry, but also mix it up, but you can't really go too wild. Just have a friend that helps you if they get tangled up or it starts looking a little, have her help you. But love.
Yeah. And then okay, what about this is a twofer. Silver jewelry, and the second part is mixed metals.
Yeah, mixed metals are always cute. In fact, it's amazing how many women still believe they have to like pick a side. Like which one are you? And even though we've seen white gold jewelry or silver jewelry be maybe less out there because gold kind of just came in and took over, it's definitely coming back. And honestly, we've had so many more people just asking for it. So we always know that's a good sign. Trends change because people have decided that they want them to change. Like, I don't know if I've really said that, but like the trends change based on what people want to buy. Every company, especially the buckle, we buy when we're purchasing SKUs, we actually only usually buy an extra small through an extra large in most and one of each, which means very quickly if something goes in or out, we can pivot, but it also allows us to have so many more SKU options for the average person shopping, which is what people really like. Now, here's the one downside. You don't buy it in the store and you come back a week later hoping that it's still where it was and it's still in your size, I may disappoint you. And I do not want that to happen. So that would be another just kind of quick plug. But if you know you're going to think about it when you're getting in your car driving away from that store, make sure it's with you because that product will sometimes fly off the shelf so quickly. So you don't want to miss out.
That's so true. Like I have had that like opposite of buyer's remorse, I guess, like the non-buyer's remorse. I don't know. But it's like, oh my gosh, like I literally am still thinking about like a pink rain jacket that I should have bought in 2015. Like, I don't know. But
yes, it'll haunt you.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. What about any like hair bows and claw clips? Because those are really hot.
Yeah, they will continue to be. I mean, anything that you can do to just, I think, accessorize and personalize your style yourself, the better off I think the world is, honestly, because, I think the fun that people hopefully have as they're putting together their look or pulling their hair back quickly or, just being able to say, I'm going to add a little extra to make myself feel good about how I'm looking or putting my look together. I think that's where people really start to feel like they have a sense of style and fashion. But it's also when I think people start identifying, man, this is when I remember like parts of my life. I know this seems funny. I hope I'm not making it too emotional, but like there's things in times of your life where you remember the outfit you had on during a really important moment. And it matters. And so I just always think, the way we dress and the way we put our outfits together, man, as we go and live our lives, hopefully they're outfits that allow you to live your life to the fullest. So,
Yeah, 100%. That literally was like the best kind of like, I mean, I have like a section written down for like closing remarks, but that kind of leads into my final thoughts too of like, why is fashion important? Why is it important to feel confident and express yourself? And for the person that's maybe like sitting on the couch, I don't want to like say like, but sitting on the couch, maybe like eating a pint of ice cream, drinking a glass of wine, watching a chick flick on a Friday night. And she's like, that can never be me. Why is it important?
well, first of all, I would join any girl that's watching a chick flick eating ice cream and having that sounds like, oh, heaven.
Yes.
But I think in the core of your question is the doubt of like, I don't know that anybody like when I first started at Buckle, I wasn't setting out to be a fashionista. In fact, I remember being nervous thinking like I grew up shopping thrift stores with $100 clothing budget a year.
Yeah.
But it's so like the learning process of it has to be fun, not fail. If you treat it as, okay, like this is, win or lose, or this is succeed or fail with fashion, it can feel a little defeating. If I had to go back and wear the same sizes or the same outfits that I wore back in 2004 when I got the job, I don't know if I'd consider myself fashionable, and they certainly would not fit. And I think that's okay. I think people have to say, man, like it's probably the craziest thing I do hear women say sometimes, which is, I'm not going to shop today. I'm going to wait until I am a certain weight. And I just think whatever the weight is, whatever the size is, you deserve to look and feel confident and beautiful, whatever that means. And so just don't limit yourself or punish yourself by not experiencing some of the trends or the fashion looks that you see other people enjoying, because I think life's too short to be concerned about, man, did I put the right shirt on? Like I think we've said it several times on this podcast, but as you look in the mirror and you decide what is beautiful, the critical part of your mind might always want to jump out. But what I've kind of found in myself is there's always somebody watching that thinks you're beautiful, that thinks you are the most perfect. They would love to have, your face and bone structure and height and weight and whatever else. And so I think there's the beauty in reminding ourselves and others when they look great. Like I try very genuinely when I see somebody that I know looks great, or I'm like, that's a cute top. I'm probably the weird one in the grocery that's saying it. But you never
Yeah.
know how somebody's compliment could really change somebody's day. I do, being in fashion, I see when people, I'm like, "Oh, they look great." Like tell each other, man, that's the fun part of life too. So thanks so much, Brooke, for letting me be a part of this podcast and I love getting to see some of your shoes in your office. And I think you are an incredible influence to so many people. And so being a part of this meant a lot to me. So thank you again.
Thank you. No, and I'm so happy to have you. And guys, I have to be honest. I mean, the idea for this episode literally came from us just being at Christmas and me sitting next to my sister and saying like, I don't know like what's cool anymore. I feel like I've been like a hermit crab hanging out with the same people like for the last 3 years since I've been working remote, and now I'm like coming out into the world and interacting with new people every single day. And it's like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of funny too. I was thinking back on it where it's kind of like, I don't know that I have developed my personal style fully, because a lot of times, like growing up, I mean, I had like your hand me downs, which I was so grateful to have. Like, I had the coolest hand me downs ever. I mean, Amy getting her job at Buckle was like a blessing to me too. It's just everything that she had, I had like a couple years later. I've been always so thankful. I still am. I mean, if you want to clean out your closet any day, I'll come. Like that was kind of the vibe and the gist, like growing up. And then every time we would go back to school shopping together, she would take me and, we'd grab dad's credit card and we would go and pick out some stuff. And she's helped me literally since I was like probably 10 years old craft and curate my style. And so you've been such a big influence to me. And even just sitting here at 29, sitting at Christmas, like, hey, I don't know what to do. What's cool? Like, what should I do? She's still such a big influence. And so that's why I wanted to bring her on the podcast and bring her knowledge and her expertise and love and compassion to everyone else too, because I want to share it with everybody else. So thank you so
I hope
much.
it was fun. And if somebody heard
Yeah.
something that they are like, wait, I'm bringing that trend back, do it. Because that's how it starts too. If you've got a trend that you're like, wait, nobody tells me what's going out of style. I want to be the fashion trend starter. You are. So have that confidence. I always say this. The most important part of your outfit you'll wear every day is your smile. People will see that smile and they might see the outfit. They'll see the top, they'll see the dress, but they'll admire the person wearing it. So thank you so much, Brooke. I love you. I appreciate you. And yeah, all the fashionistas out there, let's get shopping.
That's right. And where can everybody find you if they want to creep on your style, if they want to learn more, where can they go find, where can they shop Buckle, all the
Okay, so I will actually make sure I send this to Brooke so she has it as well. But I actually have a store online, like a visual shop where I pick my top picks, my outfit choices. You can shop through that link. That will give you access to if you want me to create a lookbook for something or a style that you're putting together. The second way would be if you are in Ohio, come to Lima. I am in Lima or Piqua, Buckles, wherever you need me to be. If you want to set up an appointment, I'll drive there. If anytime you guys have a style or fashion question, we have what's called a reservation app, and it's a shop and reserve. You can see every Buckle store's inventory from your phone. What I love about that is it actually gives you access to seeing the clothing on a model versus walking into a store and you see it on a table or you might see it up on a wall. You're seeing it on a body, which is how all clothing, no fashion designer built a piece of clothing to then be hung up on a hanger. It's meant to be on a body. So that would be the other best way is go to Buckle Shop and Reserve in the App Store, get the app, choose your local store, and start reserving your pieces. They'll pull them, they'll save them for 24 hours, and they can also add additional pieces that can help complete that look that you've already put in your app. So, okay, yeah, those are my 3 ways.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. And thank you everybody for listening. We got you. And thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.